perception for the positive and toward the negative. So I want to talk to Omar about things such as this. What's up, man?
What's happening, my brother? How you doing, Jay?
I'm fantastic. How are you today?
Blessed and highly favored, man.
Amen.
Won't he
Amen.
live? Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? You got on the sleeveless tank, getting
I
ready.
just came back from the gym, bro. You know how I got to
Listen,
get it, man.
you
Yeah, man.
my point for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I heard you, I'm old. I was like, how do I join this thing? I was about to text Paige, like, man, how you join this thing, man? But
Bro,
I figured it out.
I figured sometimes I, am going on a wing and a prayer with these things, and I don't know how I make it through sometimes. So you said you just came from the gym?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. What were you doing today? What were you hitting?
Shoulders and legs today. Yeah.
Nice. So
Yeah.
how long has this fitness journey been going on for you?
Yo, for like 3 years, right? Right before I was about to get married, I was my wife, we were doing pictures for like all the magazines. So like we had all these, People magazine and Essence and all that stuff set up. I was like, man, I don't want to look fat in these pictures, man. So I was like, dude, let me just start doing something. So you know what I started doing, Jay? I just started walking every day. You know what I'm saying? I started walking and just like, all right, man, let me walk. And then like, and just start watching what I was eating. And man, that like really shed a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I was up that house, 300 pounds. So, yeah, so it just started shedding. And I wasn't lifting at the time. I was just like, I'm just going to try to like, do this. And I think I started lifting really real for real. It's about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So that was the motivation for what made you start working out. What was the mental or spiritual shift it took for you to lose that much weight? Would you mind disclosing around where you're at currently?
Well, I fluctuate between about 207 to like 212, right?
So almost 100 pounds.
Yeah, almost 100 pounds. It's not 90 something pounds for sure. Yeah, man.
Bravo,
Yeah.
man. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Talk to me about the mental shift that you needed to make in order to do that.
So the thing about it too, Jay, it's like, man, I was losing so many people, right? Man, I lost like my brother, lost a great friend of mine, Chris Richardson, man. And it's like a lot of guys who I knew who were in their 40s, and they weren't even in their 50s yet. They were just in their 40s, were like losing their lives, man, because of, because of the weight that they were carrying, because of the lifestyles, what I'm saying? My brother built a great lifestyle, but, he carried this weight. And, I saw that there were things, even though he had cancer, you know what I'm saying? But there were things in his life that he could have that if he would have gotten better shape or whatever, it probably would have helped out a whole lot more. I had friends who had hypertension, high blood pressure. I had high blood pressure, So like I had to like sit with myself. I was like, look, man, I got way too much going on in my life. Got these beautiful kids. I got this beautiful wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just try to like focus in, try to be here for everybody for as long as I possibly can. So that was a whole spiritual journey, man. And the thing about it, Jay, it's like when you start doing it and then, you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, okay, I look all right. But then it's the clothes, right?
But then
what?
Like,
hold on.
The clothes?
The clothes,
Yeah.
man. It's like when you start getting you're getting new clothes, you're like, hold on, I ain't wearing size 38s, I ain't wearing size 40s no more. Like,
right.
when you start, you need a whole new wardrobe.
Right.
And that's like that's motivation. It's motivation. Then you look at yourself, in the mirror or whatever. But it's like when you see yourself on screen, you're like, oh, whoa, I look like a totally different person now.
Right.
So it's crazy. Like, so I had lost like about 50 or 60 pounds between season 1 and season 2 of Bookie.
Wow.
I lost so much weight that Chuck Lorre was like, you need to wear a fat suit.
Well, I was going to ask what the producer's reaction was. So they asked you to wear a fat suit. Did you wear one?
Yeah, I had to, because it was like from season 1 to season 2 was it was the same day. Like, so at the end of season 1,
right.
My wife, my grandmother's husband has a heart attack. So as soon as you open up the season 2, I'm in the hospital with him having a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I had to wear a fat suit, and I was like, but then it was like, okay, we want to do a 3-month time jump, and then you can take the fat suit off. They never took the fat suit off. I was like, man, I don't get to show this. I don't even get to show it off.
You
man.
said they never took it off?
Never took it off. Man.
Even after the 3-month time jump?
Yeah, even after the 3-month time jump. They were like, yeah. So I was like, all right, man, whatever. We'll roll with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
My condolences
Oh man,
for
yeah,
your brother and your friend who passed away.
for
Um,
sure.
so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Um, so in that time frame, did you worry at all about how it would change the perception of you in the casting community?
Not really, because you know what, Jay? I think like I mean, I don't I don't think that a lot of my roles came from me just being big, right? And I'm black man and I'm dark skinned. I got a deep voice. So if they want me to be intimidated, it is what it is.
Mhm.
But I remember having a meeting at Stars, actually this year, right? You know, I walk in, they were like, "Oh wow, you look, wow, you look great on one this and the other." I was like, "Yeah," and then we started talking, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm a character actor," and they stopped me right there. They were like, "Omar, you know what? You are, now you're approaching, now you're a leading man now. You know what I'm saying?
And
You're a
that's
leading
my big
man.
question because I feel like
Yeah,
it shifts the type a little. So please
it's
continue.
shift the type. Yeah, so, but I already felt that from Bookie. You know what I'm saying? From Bookie, it's, like
Mhm.
it was me and Sebastian. They're all the, me and Sebastian Maniscalco are the leads.
Yeah,
And all of the artwork of the show was just me and him. So we
right.
were sharing the lead character. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, I was already approaching like, well, I can put a show on my back and you can see what it looks like. It's successful or whatever.
Hmm.
So it's like it didn't really I think it changed perception. Now I don't know yet, Jay, because it's
Right.
like,
Right.
I don't know until people see me on screen and what it would look like. But
Right.
no, I just rather be healthy than
Yeah,
to
that's
be,
more
what's it
important.
profit a man to gain the whole world and
Amen.
lose his soul, you know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
lose his health, so
Right.
I hope that the industry will be able to adjust, I
I
mean
mean, you're
people
so talented. You bring such a clear thing to the table. And what's really interesting is, on Queen Sugar, which was a show you did way before
right.
Bookie, you were a romantic lead.
100%, man. Like my
So,
fan base are black women.
of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? So that's
Yeah.
what it is. And it's like I was a loving man on that show, and
Yeah.
everybody, oh, I love Hollywood. I love Hollywood too. But it's like they love
Yeah.
that character so much. I was like, I think they'll roll with me for this next, for the next phase, for the next shift that we make, man.
Absolutely. For me, all it's done as an observer of you and as a fan of you, all it's done for me is just, it just expanded the possibilities, I
For
feel.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
And
for
I've
sure.
seen that with the things that I'm reading for, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, things I'm reading for, people who are running now, CIA agents type stuff. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? Like that type of stuff, action stuff, which is what
Yeah.
I wanted to do. I was like, man, that's a whole thing that I never really even, got into. I was like, yo, that's what I want to do. I want to be running around with a gun
Right.
trying to stop the bad guy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to ask you because I also went through sort of what I call a midlife weight change, right? When
Yeah.
I was doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I got a call from the producer saying, I don't know if you know this or if you're aware, but we're going to turn your character into a superhero, so you may want to bulk up. So being the
Right.
Virgo that I am, I just went balls to the wall. So I probably went from, my doctor told me I had been 200 on the nose my whole life to about 187. And
Oh
so
wow.
physically, my body looked amazing, but it had kind of changed my face in a way. And it also, it just made me look more thin. And I
Right.
found that the people around me, even though I was really happy with the changes that I was making with my
Yeah.
body, it was working really hard to do it. And I was really proud of myself for really transforming my body. I found
Right.
that the people around me sometimes could be a little discouraging and
Mm.
say things directly to me like, are you okay? Are you
Yeah.
sick? You need to eat a sandwich. And I was wondering if you might have experienced the same thing.
In the beginning, I did. It's like you got to understand. We're coming right off of, one of my great friends, one of my, one of the great actors of all time, Chadwick
Chadwick
Boseman.
Boseman, yes.
And people were concerned. They were like, "Man, are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm cool. I'm just trying to lose weight." But that was like the first 6 or 7 months when I was like drastically losing weight. It's
Hmm.
easy to lose weight when you're eating like, like a rabbit, you know what I'm saying? But people were like, yo, I just want to make sure that you're good. And they were, but then after that, when people started seeing what, exactly what I was doing, I became inspirational to people, right? I
Nice.
have a whole crew of people who are like, man, dude, man, I'm seeing what you doing. It's like, I don't even like to post nothing on Instagram. My wife is like, yo, people need to see your workouts. They need to see you lifting. They need to see this.
They
And then
do.
it's like, yeah. And I was like, I ain't even that dude. I'll post the work. I'll post the movies or whatever. I'll post the family. She's like, no, they need to see what you look like. And so I was like, all right, bet, man. So, and then people were like, is that real? Is that AI? And I was
I
like,
said that
nah.
to you.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody was like, is this real? Is this AI? What is it? I'm like, nah, man, it's just what I've been doing for the last, few years.
Right.
So that's been like, it's sort of like, I was like, nah, I was a little offended at first, but I was like, damn, I must look that good that people
That's
think
nothing but
it's,
a compliment.
yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. So I was just like, all right, bet, man. I'm gonna keep this thing going. Just keep it rolling. But yeah, in the beginning, they definitely were like, "Are you okay? Are you, because we were so hurt and we were so taken aback when Chadwick got, when he passed, and
Yeah.
those last few pictures of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understood where people were coming from, and I was just like, no, I'm just really trying to something new, trying to get myself together here.
I hope that we've learned something as a community, that I personally feel that it is never appropriate to comment on somebody's weight. Male, female, and that goes for the aunties, the grandmothers, the mothers. And I know it comes from a place of concern, but I just hope from the Chadwick Boseman situation, we will all learn that I don't think it's really nice to talk about people's weight in a public way.
Right,
Last
right.
question about fitness, because I really want to get on to asking you about your work, because when I get to talk to somebody like this, whose work I admire, I like to really find out how they get to that place. Last question about that. Have you attained your goal? How did you know when you hit your fitness goal? And I know it's a lot about maintenance, but do you feel like
Yeah,
you arrived at where you would like to arrive?
yeah. I'm gonna tell you like this: when I hit below 10% body fat,
Nice.
I was like, that's bodybuilder. That's like, I mean, that's bodybuilder stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like at 50
Right.
years old, I'm 10% body
Yeah.
fat. And it's like, man, now I can't live there. You can't live at 10%. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You can, but it's like, that's super hard to maintain. But it's like, so right now I'm on a cut, right? Because I was like, I want to get back. I'm probably about like 10.5, almost 11. Maybe not now because I'm losing. I'm on a caloric deficit. But
Okay.
like when I hit that 9.4, I was like, wow, this is insane. But
Wow.
I was like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like from a
Yeah.
dude who was probably 30 or 40% body fat before
Hmm.
to get down to that much lean muscle, I was like, man,
Amazing.
this is, yeah, it's insane. So that when I hit that felt good. Now it's like it's about maintenance and it's about like, well, I know how to shift the weight now. If I wanted to add 5 more pounds of muscle, if I wanted to get up to 215
Yeah.
and be super jacked, I
Uh-huh.
can do that now. So I knew what to
Nice.
eat. And it's the thing too, Jay, I know what to eat.
Yeah.
I know, I know what to cut. I know how many calories I need to take in. I am so, scientific with what I put, in my body. You dig what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And about what I'm lifting and about like, progressively overloading, the weights.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's like it's a whole different thing. Shut up, Paige. I ain't taking my shirt off.
Getting heckled. Um,
Yeah.
um, you said caloric deficit. Can you show me how to put on 5 pounds so that I can get jacked? I'm having the hardest time right now getting to that place.
I mean, it's really about, putting on 5 pounds. Okay, 1 pound is 3,500 calories, right?
Okay.
So if you want to gain 5 pounds, you
Of
have to
muscle.
probably,
Of
of
muscle.
muscle, you just got to lift. You have to lift, but you got to lift heavy. You got to lift
Yeah.
heavier than you do already, right? So
Right.
let's say like if your curls are like 35s or whatever, go up a few.
Hmm.
Say just add 5 pounds every 2 weeks, then maybe every month. We're getting older, so don't do it. Don't just jump start it.
Yeah.
But like and the benching and all of that. Now you just got to continuously add weight
Yeah.
to every time. Like right now, man, it's crazy. I'm at this big age now, but I'm benching way more than I ever benched in my life.
Wow.
Way more. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I
Wow.
was playing ball, I wasn't benching like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it really is just about adding weight. You know what I'm saying to it, and like somebody just said, 1 pound, 1 gram of protein for every pound you weigh. Even if you want, but
Mm.
if you want to, so if you want to, like you got to figure out what your maintenance calories are. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And you got to figure that out. Let's say your maintenance calories are 2,100 a day. If you want to gain 5 pounds of muscle, start eating, I'll say about 2,700 calories a day. But make sure it's the proteins and make sure it's the right things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't just eat like a bunch of cake and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Well, my
but make
birthday is
sure,
on Friday, so I might.
hey, we're gonna turn up then, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
listen, last Thursday, or was it Friday? I had a conversation with the casting director, Jessica Sherman, right? And we were
Uh-huh.
talking about the current state of the business and everything that's going on and how things are so different from maybe the time when you and I started. When did you move to LA, if you don't mind my asking?
23 years ago.
23 years ago, right?
Yeah, the reason I know is my daughter is 22, and my youngest daughter is 22, and she was conceived like the first week I
Damn.
got here.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So what, having come up in the room like me, how do you feel about the current state of casting in terms of self-tapes being at the center of the casting process?
It's been a learning process. So the thing is this: when I started out in Atlanta, and we was doing a lot of self tapes in Atlanta. But when I moved, but actually, I was actually going into the local casting director, but it was the bigger films or whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
had to do a self tape and had to ship it up. I think I had to send it to LA or New York or whatever. But to me, the shift has been different. It's something that we have to learn. It is just is what it is. I'm more of a collaborative person. I go in with my idea of what the character is. If that's not the writer and the director and the producer's idea, then let's sit down and talk about it. Give me an adjustment, and boom,
Yeah.
I do it the way you want to do it. And that actually shows that I'm directable, right?
Yeah.
It shows I can act and I can just go on the fly, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's a bit harder to be able to just like go in and you do your tape or whatever, and this is just my interpretation of what this character might be. And it
Mm-hmm.
can be totally 100% off of whatever the producers wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It could be one heck of a read, but it's like, this ain't what we want. All right, that's cool. But like, I wish that it was a chance. I wish I had a chance to be able to like, talk to them just to figure out, okay, well, what can we do? You know what I'm saying? Well, what's your vision of what this character is? So it's just something that we have to learn. It just is what it is now, man. And it's crazy because like for the longest, man, I wouldn't even audition. I was just getting straight offers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so like I think like I've just been auditioning again probably the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe Bookie was the first audition that I had in
Similar.
like, yeah, like 7 or 8 years. And it's just like now it's like, all right, well, we got to get back to what we get to. Lucky thing about
Yeah.
it is like, yeah,
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 that is a little daunting, isn't it? Because you feel like you have worked up to this place in your profession to where you've reached a certain plateau, and now it
yeah,
appears that that plateau has been shifted downward, you know?
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a
yeah.
little bit of a. I don't mind auditioning. I really don't.
I
It's
don't
just,
either.
yeah,
Yeah,
I actually love to audition because honestly, I want to prove to myself and to the people that I'm working with. Like for me, an audition is proof that I know what this character is and I know how I would want to perform it. So it makes
right.
me feel actually more secure about taking the job. But there's something about how removed the self tape becomes that I don't necessarily feel that same sense of security.
Right, right. I just, like I said, I just like to be in there with the director, right?
Yeah.
Like, and if I have a chance, what I'll do is like, I'll do a Zoom with the casting director. You
Nice.
know what I'm saying? Like, that's also an option that they're giving us now, right? I'll do a Zoom with the casting director, and then they can give me some adjustments. And I'm like, all right, cool, that's good. But you can't, those Zoom sessions,
Yeah.
they get snatched up pretty quickly with the casting director.
Right.
They only have a few slots to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just something we have to adjust to, man. We've been adjusting our whole lives. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Zoom is such a toss up for me personally because I always worry that the Wi-Fi ain't gonna be good. Somebody might
yep,
knock on the door. The air conditioner might come on. Like I worry about all of those little ancillary things. But Jessica Sherman, who I spoke to the other day, I spoke to her on Tuesday. Today is Friday. Okay. So she suggested like taking the Zoom as almost like a work session and letting them know that you intend to turn in a higher quality self-tape after the Zoom session. And I thought that was a
yeah.
really good
That's
suggestion.
pretty good. I like that a lot because it's like now I have I have my adjustments. Now, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You gave me my adjustments. Boom. Now let me show you what I can do with it. It's crazy. So, Jay, man, I did a test for a series on a
Uh-huh.
Zoom.
I did too.
I was like, huh? I mean,
I did too.
that blew my mind. I was like, and it
Yeah.
was a chemistry test, and I was like, it felt a bit off. I was like, man,
Very.
this what we doing now. I mean, it is what it is, but
Right.
it just it just messed me up a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Same. It was very daunting. The very first time I ever did that was for this Tom Cruise movie, and I was a disaster. I was too close to the screen. I was looking
Right.
in the wrong place. But that last test Zoom I had went really well. Do you have any pressure or feelings about turning your tape in early? Do you even think about that? Do you turn it in right at the deadline? Do you turn it in early? What are your feelings about that?
Um, you know what? I think you and I had this conversation the other day, right? And it's like, man, my wife is the director of directors. She's the producer of producers. She
Yes.
told me, she was like, man, and she'll work with me on auditions, right?
Oh,
So
nice.
she know I
So
got the
your
cheat code.
wife, who is a professional director who works on such shows as Love Story, the Ryan
Yeah.
Murphy
Oh, she's in the Ryan
Emmy-nominated
Murphy
series,
universe. Yes, yes.
she helps you with your self-tapes, shoots them and
Yes.
coaches you?
Yeah, she coached me. Sometimes when she has the time, she'll come with me or she'll take me. She's super busy. But
Gotcha.
but at night when we were running lines, she'll give me direction. You know what I'm saying? And that's a
Nice.
cheat code. It's like the biggest director in television is giving me the cheat code. You know what I'm
That's
saying? I'm like, all right, cool, that's
a
what's up,
slight
man.
advantage.
It's a slight advantage. Thank God for Crystal Robertson Dorsey. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
But like, mhm.
So do you have
So
thoughts about, like, do you want to get it in early? Do you even think
she
about
told so what I was saying, she told me, she was like, Omar, let's work on it so we can get it in. So you're one of the first people that they see. They see you, cool, we got our guy. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So but I know, but look, there's been times when I was like the last person to put it in and I got the job. You know what I'm saying? I want to always
Yeah.
put my best foot forward. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying? I want to put my best foot forward at all times. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying?
So
So
thank you for saying that, because one thing that started this live series of conversations with me was that I reposted a casting director who was basically saying, get your tape in that day or the next day. I got a lot of blowback from it because people were like, well, she's a commercial casting director. And my two feelings about that was, well, yeah, commercials count too. Like, that's people's time and they
right.
may want to take those 48 hours. But people also sort of argued that that doesn't happen in the theatrical world. And I feel like, in my experience, from what I've learned, getting it in early in the theatrical world is looked positively upon by agents, managers, casting directors, and directors.
For
So,
sure. Yeah.
but it's interesting because a couple of people have tried to, like, kind of subtweet me in reels saying that I was kind of fear mongering or whatever the case may be, and that kind of annoyed me. So it's nice to hear you talk about that. Another director who you work with a lot is Ava DuVernay, whom I'm a
Yes.
huge fan of. I count 4 times y'all have worked together. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah, that's about, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I think, yeah, yeah, 4 times. Yeah, yeah. We
4
did
times.
Selma, we did When They See Us, we did Love Is, and we did, let me see, what is
Queen Sugar.
Selma? Oh, Queen, what am I talking about? Queen Sugar, of course, yeah.
Right, right. Nice.
Right,
I feel
right.
like I was on Jeopardy and I just got the answer
Yeah,
correct. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
so, I'm a huge, 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 huge fan of hers. Can you talk to me about your, like, creative relationship? What brings you two back together to work together so often?
Listen, man, the same way that Quentin Tarantino and Sam Jackson are the great dynamic duo, that's how we feel about each other. She
Nice.
tells me, she's like, Omar, when you're not in my stuff, it's she'll tell you, she's like, yo, when Omar's not in it, I feel like it's not it don't succeed like it's supposed to.
Nice.
And I feel like she's the director who pushes me the most and
Hmm.
has gotten the best performances out of me. Um, she's the truth, man. Like, it's crazy. Even when they see us, I originally I think I was doing Harry at the time, but I was living in New York, so I was going back and forth between New York and Virginia.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, yo, so Ava, I want to shadow you because I want to start, getting my directing on.
Oh,
So she was
wow.
like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Then after about a day or two, she was like, man, don't shadow me. I'd rather you to play this role. And I was like, all right,
Wow.
cool, whatever, man. So we did that, but like now, man, she and I have, like, man, it's a beautiful relationship. It's a beautiful working relationship. I know I bug
Nice.
her way too much because I'm like, all right, I need to be the lead of the next. I need to be the lead man in your next movie and this, that, and the other. I always be bugging. I bug her so much, man. But like, nah, we have the greatest working relationship,
I
man.
would
We
buy
do.
that ticket in a hot minute.
Straight up,
So,
brother. Listen.
one of the reasons why I think you two work so well together and why you work well with a Chuck Lorre and just everybody else that you work with is, for me, and this is like, if you were not here, I would say this behind your back, Your work is so natural, so in
Mm.
the pocket. I never
Right,
get you acting,
right.
whether that's in a period piece, a current piece, a comedy, whatever that is. What is your training?
Man, you know, my mother was one of the great theater directors in Atlanta, Georgia.
Really?
So yes, man, Dr. Naomi
Wow.
Dorsey, man, Dr. Naomi Dorsey, man. So it's like she created this thespian in a lab. You know what I'm saying? It's like
She
just the
created the
time.
perfect actor.
Listen, man, and she's so natural. You know, she came up with Sam Jackson and Latanya Richardson and, you know, Kenny Leon and that whole crew of black actors in
I
Atlanta.
did not know this about you. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's like I've been doing it since the 70s. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. Since the
Wow.
70s. So I've learned so much. I've learned so many techniques. I've learned all the Meisner, all the Stanislavski, Strasberg, Viola Spolin. I learned all of it. I learned it all and I threw it all away and to create my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Mm.
that naturalism is what it is. It's what draws people. You know, it's like, man, like I tell you what I really love the most is like when people, especially down south,
Mhm.
they say, man, you represent us so well.
I
Cause
feel
I'm,
that about
yeah,
you. Very
yeah,
much
it's like
so.
you represent black men in the South so well. And that's all I ever wanted to do, man. Just represent us Southern, you know, gentlemen or whatever, man. So it's like, so that's the pocket that I'm in. And I look at the men who I grew up around. And a lot of times, man, those are the people who I'm being, like you say, Queen Sugar. That character of Hollywood is my brother, Oliver Dorsey. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how
Yes.
he moves. He's chill. You know, he ain't moving too quick for nothing until it's time to move quick.
Right,
You
right.
know, so a lot of times when I'm doing that, man, I'm just reflecting the people who I grew up with, or people who I watch. And I'm a people watcher. I watch everything. I watch everybody. I watch people's nuances, idiosyncrasies, and everything, man.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's where the naturalism comes from, man. And like I said, I just been doing it for so long, man. It's second nature to me now.
You are one
Yeah.
of those actors that I think about when people talk about how a Black American actor brings
Yeah.
a nuance and a specificity to the experience
Of being a black American.
that makes it worthy of getting someone like you in a role like that. You're
You
exactly
know, yeah, and that's very real, man. It's no slight against anybody, any
none.
of our other brothers
No.
or sisters from anywhere else, but man, there is a specificity about the experience, right?
Yeah.
It is, man. It's like we have this thing on us, and it's in us, and it's on us.
Yeah.
And no one can really reflect that. You can play act it, and you can play
Right.
act it to a tilt and be
Right.
brilliant at it. But when it's inside of you, and it's like, yo, this is what I know it. You know, hot caramel nappy hair smells like. I know what it smells
Amen.
like. I know
Yeah.
what okra tastes like. You know what I'm saying? I know what chitlins taste like. They taste horrible, but I know what they taste like. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's an experience that we all have, man. And it's like, yo, when you see me, you see that. That's what you see.
Right. Because sometimes it's a theory, but when I see
Yeah.
you, it's a practice.
Hmm.
So you said, your style is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of the things that you've learned and studied. So you get an audition, it's due on Monday. Walk me through your preparation for that in terms of like time, in terms of like where, in terms of what. Tell me what you can about your process.
First things first, I learn the lines. First things first, I learn the lines. I read the script. You know, I learned the lines, man. That's the job, is to learn the lines. So then you can play after that. You can play. You can hit the beats. You can put beats in there that weren't even supposed to be in there. You know, but I try to do it ad nauseum. I read it so many times. I record it. I listen to it. I'm in the gym. I'm on a hike. I'm just listening to the scene over and over and over and over and
You
over.
doing the scene. You're listening to you
Yes,
doing the
me
scene.
doing the scene. Me and my wife will record it, boom, and it's just me just listening over and over and over and over. Just on
Wow.
Friday. If it auditions on Monday, Friday, the whole day. That's all I'm doing. Saturday, I'm breaking the scene down, breaking the script. I break the script down. I like to get the script right.
Okay.
I mean, it's not just a scene or two or three scenes. Now, when you're reading for series regulars, they'll give you a scene from episode 5 and a scene from episode 3 and a scene from
Right.
the pilot.
Right.
You don't know, but at least let me read the pilot so I can understand exactly who this cat is, who
Yeah.
this person is. Let's continue to like and what people think about him, right?
Okay.
That's my
Right.
main thing. Is like, what do the other characters think about this
Same
guy?
picture.
And
Okay.
it's I won't play the character the way people think about him, but at least I can have an overall arc of what this person really is from the outside looking in. You know what I'm
Got it.
saying? So that's
Yes.
how I look at it. Yeah, that's the next for Saturday and Sunday. I break that script down. I break it down, the script and the scenes. You know, I
Okay.
break them down so they can't be broken down anymore. I probably read the script about 5, 6, 7 times just so I can just get it. So in case I do have to go and sit and talk to a director, and or a writer, you know,
Yeah.
television is the writer. Director ain't it's not the be all the end all. It's the writer. You talk to the writer, producer, showrunner, so you can have a real in-depth conversation about what this character is. And at the point where we are right now, we're not really reading for like, you know, Handyman 2. We're reading for one of the, you know, a recurring or a series regular,
Yes.
right? So it's like, so we have have an in-depth conversation about it. So yeah, I tell them what I look at, what I think the character is, and
Mm-hmm.
and you can throw it back to me. What do you think the character is?
Yeah.
What is your outlook on, how you think it is? But yeah, man, I break it down all the way up until that day. Then even like and I'll record it. See, man, the thing about it, it's like I'm so used to walking into the room, right?
Same.
I'm so used to walking to the
Same.
room. So now it's like I record it, and it's like, all right, I recorded on Sunday, just to see what it looks like. Ask
Mm.
my wife, what does it look like? All right, that's
Mm.
cool. Well, let's do it again tomorrow. Wow, it's like, well, I can go sleep on it, dream about it, because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to dream about it. You know what I'm saying? Then I wake up with maybe a whole new fresh take on it. And then it's just boom, now let's hit it right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
You almost talking about a pre-tape.
Yeah, pretty tight. So I can see exactly what it looks like, see the nuances on it, see, okay, well, I don't really like that. Okay. I
See,
can
now,
judge myself.
that is a gem. That is
Yeah,
something that I've never heard someone talk about. I will do that as well,
yeah,
but not as a regular part of my process. That's brilliant. And what you're also discussing is the other thing that Jessica Sherman, the casting director, said was that without the nuances, actors fall into a cookie cutter performance of what they
yes,
think the audience. But what I am constantly trying to stress, and why I feel like I've even gotten involved in this conversation, is what bothers me about the people across the table from us is that they don't seem to gather that it takes time to
right, yeah,
find that nuance. And if
right,
I'm rushing a tape in that day or that
yeah,
next day, I didn't give it the time to be able to find that nuance, to be able to have one
yes,
thought about what it is and then dream about it and then
yeah.
realize, oh, no, 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 that's not at all what's going on. That's not at
That's not
all
at
what I'm
all
saying.
what's going on.
And
Exactly.
that's
Yeah,
what books you a role.
yeah, yeah, man. You know what? It's the times, like you said, that next day or the day of. Omar, can you get this in today? All right, cool. At that time, man, I'm just like relying on just Omar at the point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even relying on the character. Well, what would Omar do? You know what I'm saying? What would I do,
Yes.
man? And you're like, I've been around the world enough to
Yeah.
understand almost every situation of what it is. But it's like, all right, I'm just being Omar right now. I'm not even being whoever Rafe or whoever it's supposed to be, man. So
Right.
it's like, man, yeah, that's the thing that'll mess you up a bit. But you just got to do it. It's like a cold read almost, right? Like you
Right.
remember go to the theater and you go, you got to do this play that's gonna pay you $200 a week. And here's your
Yep.
cold read. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Give you 15 minutes to go learn the lines and do whatever you're gonna do with it and bring what you have. But it's
Yeah.
like, man, that's cool. If it's $200 a week, we ain't talking about $100,000 an episode.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
a big
Absolutely.
difference, man. So yeah.
Definitely. So, okay, I'm going to let you go. I know you got things to do. I want to close with two hot topics going on in these acting streets. Number
Hmm.
one, 2 days ago, there was a conversation on X, Twitter, about how breakout roles don't have the same effect for a black actor than they do a white actor. For example, a black actor gets a great role in a movie that's nominated for Academy Awards or does very well in the box office, and
Right.
that actor gets swooped up by one of the big 3 or 4 agencies, and
Hmm.
then a year passes, they don't get another thing, then they go to a different agency, and the conversation was essentially comparing that to the young lady who stars in Obsession. She's on everybody's list, she's probably got a bunch of offers and movies come out. In 2026, the year of our Lord, what do you think is the state of the black actor in Hollywood?
I tell you, man, it's crazy. I remember when Queen Sugar came out, right? And we won. I think we won the AFCA award, and I gave the speech, and I said, man, this isn't a renaissance. What did I say? I think I said this isn't a rebirth of black people on television, because this when we had was Issa Rae show, Insecure.
Insecure.
We had the Shy. We had Queen Sugar. We had Luke Cage. We had all of these different. It's all over the place. Tyler had his stuff. Shonda Rhimes had her stuff. We had so many black faces on television,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that with DEI getting taken away, that we're having less and less of the black story being told. So therefore, there's going to be less and less black characters out there, black actors having been able to work. Look, man, I'm black. I want to see black folks on TV. We're 11% of the population. Yo, we watch each other on television. We watch each other in the movies. You go see something just one of them days. You know what I'm saying? With SZA and you know, with Kiki and SZA. You know, man, Macro made a boatload of money off that movie because we want to see black folks. This is what we like to be entertained. But I think that with diversity, you know, with the diversity and inclusion going away, that those projects are going to become less and less. Now, maybe in 2 years, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe in the midterms, it'll come back. Who knows?
Right.
But like where we are right now politically, and I don't know because I know Paramount is doing their thing, and I know, you know, where they shift to. But hopefully that we can be able to tell our stories again, right? That's why that's my prayer. That's my hope.
Yeah.
And it's like, because we will watch it. We will, and we have the buying dollars. We have everything else that any other community has. So it does sadden me a bit. Like you said, you see the black character in a movie or in a show that who could be the breakout, and it's like, well, no, they're not. You know what I'm saying? No, they're because they're not writing anything for them. That character is not being written for. You know, happy for you know, Aaron Pierre for his for you know, jumping and doing his. And it's a few other people who are shifting and getting it. But like, man, it was a time.
But my thing, though, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my thing only is just that, you know, okay, it's amazing that Aaron Pierre, for example, is doing Lanterns. When Lanterns is over or on his hiatus, can we please give him another movie, another opportunity, and, you know, and support him? I just hope that the city, the town, the industry supports him and allows him to do 2 to 3 movies a year in the same way that they do, let's say, a Timothy Chalamet or someone, you know, like that.
So, all right, what's the young brother man from New Orleans? I love him with all my heart.
Miles Aaron.
No, him and Aaron did Genius MLK. Man, I feel bad.
Oh, Kelvin Harrison.
Calvin. So my wife was the executive producer and director of that.
Oh wow,
of that series.
He was a genius actor.
Yo, so it's like this, man. Why does this dude not have 3 movies out every year? Why does he not have 2? Now he does have Basquiat coming out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love that. But like, man, he should be one of them cats who is constantly, no, they're shifting things for him. They're like, okay, well, we need to get this for him. We need to get this for him. We need to get this for him. Yeah. I think Jonathan Majors had an opportunity for it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think he was the last person to even creep like that, right? The person who just came out of almost nowhere. He did Last Black Man in San Francisco. Then he jumped and did Creed, and then he did Lovecraft. I remember like right after Last Black Man in San Francisco, I thought we were doing this play on Broadway together. I thought we were gonna do Blues for Alabama Sky. So we were in like stage reading rehearsals, me, him, and Patina Miller, and we were in the stage readings. We were going, but the play didn't go, and I was just like, yo, this cat is like one of the most talented people I've ever seen in my life. He's super young. Yeah. But I remember when he went to go do Lovecraft Country.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, he's out of here. Then, then he became, then he did Creed and then the Marvel stuff. So I think he
Hmm.
was the last one who was going to give a shot to. But I hope that Calvin and I hope that Aaron are able to like, to push it up. I thought Lakeith was going to be there too, man. So,
Right, exactly. And that, there are obviously actors who are killing it right now of color. I'm just looking at the other, group of people who, because there are actors, black actors who are killing it right now. So I don't
but the
want to
new
take
people,
any.
I don't know who the new folks are though.
Well,
Like you said, the person from Obsession, the girl from Obsession, you know what I'm saying? Like she's out of here, right? So
right.
yeah, but I want to see like who the new. Yeah, I would like to see like yeah. I'm scared for them, man. I'm scared for these young kids, man.
Me too, especially because of everything that's going on in the world and the industry. The second hot topic I want to ask you about is yesterday or 2 days ago, the actor David Krumholtz announced that he's stepping back from the industry because there is no work. Um, obviously we
Wow,
are
that's crazy, man.
right.
Oh
We're
yeah,
obviously in a contracted time in our industry. And to someone like you who has had a long career, a successful career, how do you stay motivated and engaged and inspired when the industry is in a downturn?
man. You have to shift, right? It can't just always be about acting. I remember my acting teacher, Famo Amalami, in Atlanta. He told me he was like, man, you can't just this can't just be about acting. It got to be about writing, or voiceover, or whatever, or like just when you have this money, you got to put it into other places, right? Open
Right.
some businesses, and don't let this just be the only thing that you do.
Right.
I would love it. I would love to be J.R. Ewing and do 10 seasons of Dallas. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I would love that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And be
Yeah.
syndicated for the rest of my life. That's just
Yeah.
not the world that we live in anymore. So you have to be able to. You don't have to step back from it, and it's sad. But he's been acting forever, though, man. Come on, dude.
Right. But I mean,
That,
what if it's
yeah.
not about the money? What if it's about the rejection? What if it's about the frustration? How does
Well, the
one move
rejection
through
is
that?
what it is, man. Like, yo, man, I'm black and I'm a black actor. If I succeed 5% of the time, I'm doing well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
look, 10% of the time, you are Denzel Washington. It's like, dude, I get rejected on a daily basis. I'll put these tapes in, and they're like, here's a great audition, but they're gonna go another direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These things happen. It is what it is. I'm used to rejection. I'm used to it. It's just like I have the toughest skin in the world when it comes to that because I know that the work that I'm putting in is quality because I keep getting called back by the
Yeah.
same
Exactly.
studios, the same networks, and the same casting directors. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna find something for you, Omar. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. And but like I said, Cromwell he's been working
Since he was a
forever
kid, I
since he
believe.
was
Yeah,
a
exactly.
kid. Yeah, since he
Yeah.
was a kid. So this is a new thing for him to have to adjust to, and I get it. But like, yo, this is what we've been going through our whole careers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's another one of the major misconceptions is that some people out there think that when we talk about our frustrations with the current casting climate, that it's somehow about us not getting the role. And I was saying in
No,
that interview the other day, no, 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 we're all very comfortable not getting the role. We're so
yeah,
used to not getting the role. What
yes,
we're not used to is some bullshit and feeling
right.
like we spent 2, 3 days making a tape that has never seen, never heard. You're skipping through. Like that's the part that we can't stomach. We're fine without getting the part.
So dig this, man. Like, there's
Yeah.
been times that I've been offered the role and I'm in negotiations, right?
Yeah.
And a friend of mine might be like, "Hey, man, I got to audition for this, and the other." I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm in negotiations to do this. I mean, maybe you're the backup. I don't want to tell them that,
Yeah,
but
of
it's a
course
lot of
not.
times it's like that, though, right? It's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
times just like, yo, man, like, and don't get it twisted. There's been times that I got a role that like Brian Tyree Henry walked away from.
Right.
There have been times. It's been two projects that's been like that he
Okay.
walked away from, and I was like, oh well,
Yeah.
I'm right here.
I'll
You
take
know what
it.
I'm
Right.
saying? I'll take
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So, but yeah, sometimes you're like, man, come on, dude. Like, I already know who you want to play this role. My best friend is Anthony Mackie, and I'm up here reading for this role. And Mackie's like, yo, man, I was like, you gonna do it? I don't think so. Yes, you are. You're gonna do it, man. I know you're gonna do it. So what are we talking about right now? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's just, that's the things that gets me a little bit like, dude, I never even had a chance. You know what I'm saying? You wanted, you know what I'm saying, Mahershala, why are you calling me? You know what I'm saying? You just
Right.
in negotiations, but you know, it is what it is, though. It's the
Right.
game. Yeah.
We'll close on this. Do you have a dream role or dream project that you would like to be a part of?
It's a few of them. You know what I'm saying? So a few of them. I would love to do some Walter Mosley stuff. You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying?
Ooh.
Some Chester Himes, you know, any of
Mm.
those, like any of those. I like detectives, like those film noir type detective things.
Mm-hmm.
So like any of the Rage in Harlem, like all the Chester Himes stuff,
Yeah.
you know, or like I said, in the Walter Mosley books. I would love to play Thelonious Monk. I
Woo.
had it in my grasp. I had it in my grasp. I think I still have it in my grasp.
Yeah.
His son T.S. Monk wants me to play him. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I would love to play Paul Robeson. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's the person who I would love to play. Because he's an athlete who sang opera and did Shakespeare. That sounds like me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I would love to play that, man. I love to play Barry White. It's a lot of
Wow.
things. I would love to do some Afro futuristic stuff, man. You
Yeah.
know, I know I would love to play Bishop
Oh,
in
wow.
X-Men. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I would love
Yeah.
to play Blue Marvel in Marvels. You know what I'm saying? I would love to. I love the next job I get, man.
I
You know what
love
I'm
it.
saying?
That's
That's what
my
it is.
answer always. When people say, "What is your dream role?" I say the next
The
one,
next
because
one, yeah,
it's my job to find out why this role is my dream role.
that part, yes,
Yeah.
man, yeah,
Good
yeah,
stuff,
man,
man. Dude, thank you
yeah,
so
Jay.
much for joining me.
Yes, sir, brother. I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure talking to you, Jay.
Been so fun talking to you. I thank you for your time, man. You
All
dropped a
right, my
lot of
brother.
insight. Much love, homie.
All right,
I'll
man.
see you
Peace.
later.